Hello everyone, welcome to GIS Man. I'm Miles Lee. Now we are in 2022 and I hope that everything can go fine this year. The pandemic can fade away and the world can be peaceful. And I also hope that every one of you had a good holiday in Christmas and New Year. Today you can see is a little bit special because we have the camera set up so that you can not only record the screen that I show, but you can also see my face. I didn't usually do that because you can see the reflect light here is not that good. And I also don't want to distract people's attention, okay? So one of my friend asked me to have a try. So this time I just set up the camera to give it a go. Today, I just make a very short video clip to answer one of my audience that comment on my previous video clip. He asked that if he can get access to the underlying relational database in ArcGIS Data Store for some purpose. However, after federating the ArcGIS server with Portal, he can only access the data from Portal. He wants to see the raw data in the database. So my understanding to this question is that this gentleman would like to get access to the underlying relational database wrapped inside the ArcGIS Data Store. Uh, the answer to this is yes. But firstly, we will need to understand a few things. So whatever the layers we publish from Upload or UpMap from to the ArcGIS portal, so we can see the data displayed in our My Content tab in our ArcGIS portal. But however, this data is just displayed here, is not stored here. Okay. Uh, After federating the ArcGIS portal with the server, it will go to the server. And then the server, because it's connect with the ArcGIS data store, so it will finally go to the ArcGIS data store. Okay, but ArcGIS data store is just an entity, it's not the real thing. So what's underlying the ArcGIS data store is our relational database, for example, like PostgreSQL. If we check in our task manager, we can see that there are quite a few PostgreSQL server instance running in the background. Here is what the data really stored in. Okay, here is where the data really locate. So this gentleman's question is to ask me that if we have some way to get access to this underlying relational database inside the ArcGIS data store. The answer is of course yes, but we will need to set up something. We will need to set something and use the tool to do so. I will show you step by step about this. Okay. So firstly, we will need to use some tools in our ArcGIS data stores to allow the external user can get access to the underlying relational database. So we will need to use, for example, the list manager user tool and also the allow collection tool. It's very simple. I will show you how to do that. So firstly, in our CMD, we type the path we just showed. So that's C program files and then ArcGIS and then data store, okay, and then tubes. So right here we will need to firstly list the user of the underlying relational database. We type the list manage user, okay. So here, what we can see is we have two rows. One is for the type cache. Because in this example, we just upload a feature class as a feature layer to the portal. So we don't use a type. And we will need to use the manage user for relational data storage. Okay, so we will need to write down the username, password, and the database right here. We just put it in our note. Okay. So after this, we will need to allow the external users to get access to the database. So we will need to use another tool called allow collection. Okay, so because right here I just use the local host as an example. So in the IP column, we can type localhost. Okay, and then after that, we will need to type the username, which is this one. That is HSU-0VXIO. Okay, and then we click enter. Just wait for a second. It takes a while. Okay, so now we can see operation complete successfully. So now the external user can get access to the relational database wrapped inside the ArcGIS Data Store. So from now, you can use the external software like PGAdmin to connect to the relational database, Postgres database inside the ArcGIS Data Store. Or we can also use some tools in ArcPro to do that. For example, in our catalog, we click add database, or not this one. We click new database collection, and then PostgreSQL. So right here, my local host IP address is this one. I have already typed it. And then the username is the one that we just write it down, which is this one. Okay. And then I just click right here, and then we also need the password, which is this one. Okay. So we just click OK. So now the XDE file is established, which allows us to get access to the underlying PostgreSQL database from our ArcGIS Portal catalog. Of course, you can use the external tools like PGAdmin or other client to get access to it. It does not matter. So this data is the server. It's exactly same as what we just uploaded, this one. So we can double check about that. So this is the server data. We just turn it off, and then we drag the one wrapped inside the ArcGIS Data Store to see if they are same. Okay, this is some point feature class, and then this one should be the row, okay, and then this one should be the polygon, what we just saw, okay. Okay, this is the one, the server. So that's it. This is a general way to get access to the Postgres SQL database wrapped in the ArcGIS Data Store. So this is a good way to do the stuff because after federating, usually you can just the normal user can just access to the layers on our ArcGIS portal. But sometimes, for example, we will need to migrate our data to somewhere else. We will need to check the data or write some SQL or some other one stuffs. We need to get access to the underlying PostgreSQL, the relational database inside the ArcGIS Data Store. So this is the way how we can do that. Another thing I would like to talk about, by the way, is that this is because right now I'm using a local machine, but however, if someone from remote or other users like to do the same thing, you will need to set up another stuff, which is like in the C. For example, this is your ArcGIS Data Store folder, and then we need to get access to the PG data, and then change something in the PG-HBA config file. So what you need to do is in the IPv4 local collections, you add all users. You will need to write another column right here. You need to write all users, and then okay, all address, and then to allow the external users, not from the local machine, to get access to the underlying relational database, like the Postgres, which is wrapped in the ArcGIS Data Store. Okay, so it's also very simple, just one more step to do that. So that's it. This is today's topic, very short one, and I hope I can answer this gentleman's question. And by the way, what I would like to show you is that we have already um, established a chat group. A sec. Yeah, let's turn this one. Don't know why it's a little bit slow, but however, we have already established a chat group. Um, if you like, you can you can be the member of that group, and then for whatever questions you can ask, and there will be some people to answer you. And this is usually for the emergency. For example, you can't figure out some issues in your work and you need a quick answer or something, you can just add this group, and you can use a multi-brains power to help you. So hopefully you can join, and welcome. So that's it for today, and looking forward to see you next time. Bye.